What's going on, everybody? I'm Kevin from Cigar and it is another Tech Tip Sunday, powered by Monster Energy Rehab. I've only been awake for half an hour, and this one's almost gone. This is feeling like a two-monster day for me. Let's talk about the bullshit that is extended warranties. Extended warranties, for the most part, we as technicians hate them. We hate servicing them. We hate when they come in. And it's not just me at my shop. Every shop, for the most part, hates extended warranties. I tell people, be very careful about which extended warranties you go with, because it's just, it's getting to the point to where some shops, like, you'll come in and say, hey, I have, and these companies are huge. I am not about to be libelous, blasphemous, calling any of these companies out. They have sued technicians. They have sued shops before, so you're not gonna get anything from me. But I've known shops that the people come in, hey, I have this extended warranty. You're an authorized shop. Get out. I'm not spending 8 hours of my day going round and round for the crap that is your extended warranty. And there are some extended warranties to where it's pretty simple. You call them up, hey, this broke, the alternator broke, stopped working. You know, that's a pretty straight, straightforward repair. But then sometimes they make the technicians, well, we need to see your full diagnostic procedure on that shows that alternator. So you're testing wiring, but they're not paying for that. They're not paying for that. So it just ends up being a nightmare. I pulled up from one of the sites, and they all essentially have this exact same thing. You got to know what they don't cover. They'll tell you in these TV commercials, the flyers you get when you go to buy a car, all the things they'll cover. The list is this big. It's 8 pages of what they don't cover. And then it's 1 page of what they don't cover, which negates a lot of that stuff. This optional vehicle service contract will not pay or reimburse for mechanical breakdowns caused by misuse. That's an obvious. Abuse, obvious. Negligence, including the negligence of a repair facility. You might think if a repair facility broke something, they're not going to pay for that. Negligence has, a couple of different terms or meanings. Improper towing, lack of maintenance of the failed covered part. That's the big one. That's where they get you. Contamination, damage as a result of continued operation with an overheat condition, lack of coolant or lubricants, lack of viscosity, sludge, restricted oil flow, salt rust and rust damage, environmental damage or chemicals, no payment or reimbursement of the correction of oil consumption, repair of worn rings, or any repair for the reduction in engine efficiency that might be performed on your vehicle when a mechanical breakdown has not occurred. We'll go back to including the negligence of any repair facility. If you come into my shop and I'm regularly servicing your vehicle and then the transmission goes out, oh, hey, I have an extended warranty on that. I'll get that covered. The extended warranty company goes, hey, can you just show us the maintenance history of that transmission? I've never had it serviced. Well, you should have had it serviced. It's due this, this, and this. Well, the shop I took it to never told me that. Not our problem. Negligence of the shop is not our problem. So you got to know when your maintenance is due. With that, you buy a car with 60,000 miles on it, and the manufacturer recommended you have your CVT fluid changed every 18,000. You should have had it done 3 times. You haven't had it done. They're going to ask, well, where is that maintenance? Well, I bought it with this amount of miles on it. There are times that gets covered, and many times it does not. You're screwed again. And a repair of warranty, say your engine blows up. because low oil or whatever. A lot of times they're going to send an inspector out to inspect, because like say you're talking about an $8,000-$10,000 claim. Oh, your rings are worn out. You got a lot of blow by, which caused the turbo to fail, grenade into the motor, which blew everything up. That's not covered. You had worn rings. There are so many things. Sludge, restricted oil flow. You buy a vehicle. Toyota Camrys had that. They called it oil gelling way back in the day, where it was just the problem with the viscosity of the oil return passages, and they were blowing. Some motors were blowing up, some were not blowing up, but they were getting sludged up. And we do see some sludged up motors nowadays, but you don't know that when you buy it. You can bring it to me to have it inspected before you buy it, and I'm like, oh, hey, everything looks good, oil's clean. Oil's clean because that person just changed the oil before they put it for sale. You're driving it, you buy this extended warranty, engine blows up. First thing they want to do is they want to pull the valve covers off, inspect the top half of the motor, and lo and behold, it's full of sludge. Well, you just paid $4,000 for an extended warranty that is now worthless. They're not going to pay. And so now what do? Don't put that motor into it. Junk that vehicle. But yeah, so the extended warranty companies don't want to pay for anything. I mentioned earlier, maybe joking around, spending 8 hours with these warranty companies. That's not a joke. That's not a joke. We have spent 8 hours going round and round with these extended warranty companies on what they'll pay for, what they won't pay for. As technicians, we will dig into, a thermostat housing on a GM 3.6 pays like 6 hours to do. It's a pain in the butt job. While you're in there, there is a coolant temperature sensor that needs to be replaced while you're in there, where it should be replaced while you're in there, because it's in the middle of the intake. You can only get to it by removing the thermostat housing. It's out. If it's a customer paying for a job, we don't give them the option of doing that. We're doing it, period. And we're building it into the ticket. There's no additional labor, $80-$90 for the part. It's getting built into the job. The extended warranty company, they won't pay for that. So sometimes a customer, in a situation like that, it's like an extra $100. Well, I don't have it. That's why I have the extended warranty coverage. It's right there. It's right there. And then in certain situations, like that 3.6, or other vehicles, customers like, I don't have it. So we go back and I'm like, okay, what's our profit margin? If it's tight, we'll call the parts company. Like, hey, can you give us a break on that? I got a customer I really need. They're like, okay, we'll give you a break on the part, and then sometimes we can throw it in for you at no charge. But these aftermarket warranty companies, no, we're not paying that. It's not part of the breakdown, or just anything. Even on price wise, that part's too much. You got to shop around. Sometimes they'll shop around, like, oh, hey, we found it, a white box, what we call a generic box. We found this at this place. Like, you only put that inside of a motor? Like no. I mean, nobody should be using that. Yeah, that's all we're going to pay for. Oh, and then your labor. We're not going to pay all that labor either, because we know that you're using electric tools or impact tools. So we're going to take 25% off your labor. So now the mechanics don't want to do the job. They're rushing through the job because they're getting paid less. In extended warranties, don't look at what they cover. Don't ask in detail what they don't cover. Because what they don't cover is what's going to screw you. These $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 packages are worthless if you don't understand what they don't cover. And that's the biggest point. Like I said, you're going to get a list this big of what they cover, and they're going to be like, oh, we only not cover this. But this sometimes will negate half or more of what's on this list. So be careful with extended warranties. Shop around, do your due diligence, ask questions.